Hello everyone and welcome to lesson 8 in my 3D modeling for 3D printing course. And today we're going to talk about using textures to quickly add texture to our models and to save us a whole bunch of time. Okay, so to get started, I already made a few objects that we're going to be working with. And if we go into wireframe mode, you can see that I already added geometry to these models. So it will pick up whatever detail we're trying to put on it. Okay. But first, I want to talk about this website called isorepublic.com. And here you can see I got this tree bark texture. And it is under Creative Commons, so it's free for commercial use and you don't need to attribute it or anything. This website just has a bunch of like royalty-free images and videos. It's probably not the best because it's free, and it seems like it's kind of like a website to like get you to sign up for Shutterstock, but um, you can find some good things on there. So browse if you're looking for some free images, and I found a few. I found this tree bark texture. If we go to brick, as you can see, I think this one might be pretty good. And the images that we get, the color doesn't matter because it's going to change it to black and white for us. So actually, I might get brick, red, brick. So I'm actually going to use this one as well, and we'll see how it goes. And I also have a, let's see, a grass texture. And I'm also using this grass texture as well. So those three are the ones that we're going to use from ISO Republic. Okay, so let's work with the brick wall first. So here, let's actually isolate this using the slash, and then we're going to numpad 1, and then we're going to go into sculpt mode. So while we're on the draw brush, we're going to hit this texture properties tab, and then for this, we're going to go new. And then from here, we're going to click open. And then my textures are in this file. So as you can see, I have a few available. We just got the red brick one, so let's try that one. And then as you can see, it loads up this image. And then now, when we resize the brush, this brick drawing shows up. Okay, so now when we use our brush, ooh, that was like 2 clicks. Oh, you know what? The strength matters, so it's like kind of too strong. We're gonna go 0.1. Okay, so now when we try it, as you can see, it's a lot lighter. It's not as intense, and we can click on it several times to kind of make the effect stronger. And as you can see, it's stronger in the middle than it is on the outside. And when we look at it from the side, it is a little like too pointy. So what we can do is just hold shift and kind of smooth it out, and it looks kind of melted, right? But when you're 3D printing, you want this versus something like this. I mean, that's exaggerated, but you know what I'm saying. I don't even know if that could be salvaged. Yeah. Also, if you notice, it is drawing on the back as well. So we're going to Control Z, and I'm just going to show you real quick. If you only want to draw on one side and not the back, which is probably the normal case, right? You just click on this. You go to Brush, Front Faces Only. So now, I'm going to actually do 0.2. And yeah, let's do this. And then click. Oh, 0.2 is still a bit strong. But yeah, you get it, right? You get what I'm trying to do. Maybe just do this a couple times and then find that sweet spot you're looking for. And as you can see on the back, it's not drawing on anymore. Okay, so yeah. But yeah, I like that. I like 0.1 strength. I think this looks pretty good, at least good enough to slab on the side of a brick wall that you're designing and just call it a day. Like literally takes seconds, right? All right, let's move on to our next example, and then we're gonna do slash again to, and then this time we're gonna look at it from the top down. And the brush, wait, we gotta make sure we're in sculpt mode. And the brush that we're gonna look at this time is the grass one. And here it is. That's what that looks like. And this is what the brush preview looks like. So we're still on 0.1, and I'm just gonna press it. And then, you know what? I think that looks pretty good. Let's look at it from the side. Yeah, if you were to just print this out and like, you know, maybe use like speed paint on it or, dry brush it, I think it'll pick up the detail pretty well on the top there. And it's grass, so it's kind of like all over the place, which I'm not gonna lie, I might actually use this. I think I will use this. I don't know if you watched my last video on measurements, but I talked about how I kind of want to make my own like dungeon tiles, and this would be like perfect for like an outdoor tile, right? Like grassland tile. So yeah, I'm gonna keep this in mind and probably use it later on. So yeah, super simple. But I guess I'll show you this real quick. Um, if you go here to active tool setting, you can change the stroke type. Right now it's just dots. So like if you were to like make this smaller and just go like this, it'll just you just dot it on there, right? Um, but you can also do different things like drag dot where um, you hold it and you kind of place it when it's like you can kind of see like a preview of what it would look like in that spot, and then you just yeah, okay, that's what that is. Um, and some of these are self-explanatory. Anchored, you just kind of pull back uh, from the middle, but the more you pull back, the more intense it gets. So you don't want to do this like too much, or like if we do it to fill this, um, it's not too bad actually. But there's a lot of detail missing. Is it? I think it's because yeah, there we go. That's probably uh better. Actually, I really like that. This worked out really. That worked out pretty good. Because if you're doing the dots, some parts might overlap and it might not mesh that well, right? So if you were to do the anchored, and you just make it big, you can kind of gauge like the strength of it and fill it as much as you want. And the farther away you go, the more intense it gets. So you can kind of like see a preview and then be like, yep, that looks good. And then, yeah, there you have it. Okay, so yeah, I probably preferred the dot one, um, and just doing it like one click, or the anchored. Um, Anchored's probably the way to go for that. Okay, so moving on to this, and what is this, you ask? This is my attempt at making a tree trunk, and I know it looks kind of silly and smooth, but that's what the texture is for. So we're gonna go change this to a tree. I guess I just called it tree. And then we got that bark. And then, you know what? Let's make it this big, I guess. And then let's go to the stroke and try the anchored. Oh, yes. Oh, let's isolate it. And yeah. Um, so let's actually control one and then do the same thing on the back. And then I guess we'll have to do it on the sides too. And just like that, we have a tree. And again, if it's a little too intense, we can just kind of smooth it out a little bit on all sides. And it won't be as jagged edged as before. Okay. But yeah, that's it. That's pretty much the lesson. I made this so that I can do kind of the same thing. Sculpt. Let's go a little smaller. And then now this kind of acts as our branch. So I'm just going to rotate this on the Y like so. Let's actually isolate these two. And then we're just going to like kind of scale this. And duplicate it. Just rotate it on the Z. Yeah, you get it, right? Like now it's kind of looking like a tree. But yeah, I didn't spend that much time on this, so that's why it looks so janky, but hopefully you know what I'm trying to get at with these textures. So yeah, we got some grass over here, we got a brick wall, and we got some tree bark. Okay, so you know that's the lesson for today, and for today's homework. So I want you to check out that website. There are others. I'm not going to go over all of them, but yeah, check out that website. Find some textures for yourself and just apply them just to practice. Maybe even download some and keep it in a folder like this, like I did with these textures. I got a few brick walls. I got some chainmail. I got lizard skin, sand, scales. Yeah, and in the future, it's just gonna make life a lot easier. Like if I were to hand draw this texture on this like tree, like using like creases or whatever, and like little, it would take me forever, right? But this, using that website, it's royalty free, so no problem there. I could print this out and sell it if I wanted to. Um, like like I'm probably not going to make my own tiles and sell them, but this kind of makes me want to, right? And that's why I like using Blender for 3D modeling. Like, you literally can make whatever you want and print it, and it's, you're like, you have it physically, which is awesome. So that's why I'm doing this. Hopefully I'm helping you out a little bit. If not, let me know what I can do to help you out. Okay, so yeah, that's it for today, and as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.